Hi, Shane. Tim at the commission desk. Gary and Dennis and Mary Kay. I'm going to put you on speaker. Okay. Still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Let me see if I'm wide open. How about now?
Then I can call in.
I can hear you if you can hear me.
Okay.
That's better if you turn it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it is for me anyhow. Can you hear okay, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's so far as kind of a slow day. We will for the first time in some days have everything up and running again. They've been shut down for most of their heavy haul stuff since Thursday.
Okay.
So, now a lot of heavy stuff's been happening. Today they're they're finally got some concrete trucks going and we'll have rock trucks coming here after a bit.
I see.
So, and they have got very little happening on the south end of the 24th. Most of what's happening now is up towards the Centralia area.
Okay.
With concrete and most of the activity hauling rock and whatnot is mostly going up to that area.
I see.
And they're just now starting to move some stuff over to starting to grade some stuff over in the northeast area, north of Goss. So expect that rock will start going that way here in the near future.
Okay, hang on, Shane. We got somebody going to call in, going to ask a couple questions here. I'm going to get them online.
Okay, you got it.
Hello.
Yep, it's me.
Okay, Greg, he's on speaker here. We're going through some things here. When we get done, we'll have you talk to Shane. Okay, Shane, go ahead. What was you saying now?
So they're starting to excavate string roads and whatnot over north of Goss. So they will start having the rock go that direction here in the next few days to maybe next week sometime would be my guess.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, other than that, I don't have anything to do. Most of this down at the south end, but the 24th is going to start grinding up here for just a bit.
Mm-hmm. As far as working down in there on.
Yeah, at least for pickup trucks and stuff, but very little heavy stuff. I think it'll be 4 or 5 concrete trucks done on 24th today, but I think most of that's going to be dried out for probably a couple, 3 or 4 weeks anyway.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You guys got anything for Shane? Okay, we got Greg Visser on the line. He wants to ask you a couple questions. Go ahead, Greg.
Okay, thanks. Hi, Shane. Part of the questions that I originally had for you, Tim had answered with me before the meeting there, and I appreciate that, Tim. I guess one of the things, though, that's been, from what I've been talking to people around here I'm just outside of Goff is where I live. And some of the things that some of the people have been kind of concerned about around here is as far as the roads go, like taking the crown off the roads. I'm assuming that that's probably so that they don't have, drag from the long, low trailers and things like that. But is that something that is typical with a process like this? Do you know, as far as from an engineering standpoint, it seems like that's kind of a mistake with a road, especially going into spring like we are here, where you're going to get rains and it's not going to drain nearly as well.
Right, yes, I understand. So I think their plan is that, they're needing the roads to get, through to get their equipment to where they need right now. And everything that they're telling me is that, they'll get back roads back to proper condition as soon as they can with stuff. Anytime if we have drainage issues that are happening, their plan is to fix those as they're happening so that we don't have, water running when it's not supposed to be and whatnot. If that's happening and they haven't addressed it quick enough, by all means, let me know whatnot. I can get with them and say, hey, we've got a problem here that needs to be addressed now. some places it's just, you know, they're doing what they can to get the heavy stuff through. And part of the problem is even if they put the crowns on it, some of that heavy equipment that goes through there just destroys it right away. So some, you know, they'll make some get the stuff through it, and once they've got all the components to that site and whatnot, then they'll go ahead and redress that road.
Okay. I guess just to kind of catch you up with what Tim and I was talking, I've been asking about, you know, like reports and stuff like that for what the progress was or different issues and whatnot. He said that would probably have to come through Kenny, I guess, the higher up in the engineering firm there. So, but just to kind of, I guess, make you aware of that was something I was kind of asking about, or maybe you can shed some light on there as far as Tim was mentioning that you got weekly reports and stuff as far as what was carrying on and any troubles and things like that, I guess the thing that piqued my interest, I guess, was last week your comments with what all was carrying on, and then I don't know if it was for the time constraints of the meeting or what, but I know Tim kind of had told you that you talked about that at the Wednesday meeting instead. So I guess that was just kind of some of the stuff that as part of the public, was kind of interested in knowing what some of the things were going on with the project were, I guess, or if there was certain situations, then, you know, we kind of knew about them, like if there was things that you were running into as far as if, you know, there was too much traffic certain places, well, then if we kind of knew where, you know, even on a weekly basis, if we kind of knew what was coming up in a certain area, then maybe that would be something that, say, for instance, some farmers could avoid that particular area. You know, if they take a certain direction to their fields, then maybe they could reroute it if they know that something is going on, say down O Road, for instance, that week, instead of, you know, taking O Road, they could go down a mile and come back around on N or something like that, for instance. So,
sure, and I can put on my report, you know, some expected areas. The problem is that even like day to day, it's changing as far as, you know, what they can do. A lot of times they don't know until, you know, either, I don't know if they figure out late at night or the first thing in the morning on, you know, specific sites that they're going to be working at based on weather or availability of, you know, equipment or whatnot. So I can give you a rough estimates, but that's about as close as I each day when I felt, you know, where I know where they're going to be, they're close generally, but there's surprises all the time on where they can do that. Well, they can get away, so they're doing that. So it's not real accurate information that I can gather at the time.
Gotcha.
I'm certainly happy to, you know, add a little thing in there, like that, you know, based on the information I've got and where it looks like they will be, you know, the next few days, but that's as close as I can come.
Right. Well, that I guess would be at least something, you know, then maybe that would keep people from driving around necessarily, you know, in that area too, you know, because you always got the looky-loos that are going to be checking out and seeing what the projects are, which I know they had kind of suggested that people only do it in the evenings or weekends type of deal. I've seen somewhere on Facebook or somewhere one of the suggestions from, I believe, within the county or the sheriff's department or wherever it was, I guess, but you know, that would kind of give people a heads up too, you know, that there may be construction during the week in this area or whatever. So I think that helps everybody, I guess, you know, both on the construction side of it as well as the public around. So.
Shane, what we'll probably try to do is get your, don't you do like a weekly report and turn it into Kenny?
Yeah, actually I've got, I do it daily and then I turn it into Tracy in my office who's been just compiling it all into one weekly report.
So somehow or another, we're going to try to put some kind of a report on our website, and maybe you could, you know, start thinking about that and figuring out, okay, this is where they're kind of supposed to be for the next week. But granted, if it rains in the northern part or in the middle or wherever, that changes, like you said. So it's going to be a kind of a work in progress as far as trying to hit where they're going to be, per se. Most generally, it will be if the weather stays and cooperates.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I can put something together best that I can figure out on where they'll be each week. Absolutely.
And
that's not a problem at all.
I guess that would get to you, Mary Kay.
Yeah, you'd have to send that to me because I'm.
And that way we could get it on the website, you know, and get it out there so they can see it.
I can do it.
Okay, great.
What I'm planning on, if it's all good with everyone there, is that just Sunday, I'll get all the information I can for the week, and then it'll go, because we put it out Monday mornings when that
I see.
out. So, I'll just have thoughts for the entire week following that each Sunday, so
Okay.
the last part of the report.
Okay. And we'll get that to Mary Kay, and that way Monday morning, maybe somehow we can get that on the website, and it'll be available for them then.
Sweet.
Okay.
Keep it going.
I guess that kind of falls into also to another question that I had. You mentioned that your meetings with Nextera and the engineer on Wednesdays there, is that something that might possibly be relayed to the public as well too, as far as, you know, like a Facebook live video or something like that?
It's just me, Greg, that's just me as a commissioner going to see how everything's going.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to take notes and put them out on Facebook. That's not me. We're not going to hide nothing. We're not going to do anything. We're just presenting anything that we see. Dennis Runnebaum usually comes along if I ask him to. And if we got any issues, we let them know what they are and they fix them.
Okay. Another thing too, like I was saying there about the knowing the trouble phone number to call in and whatnot, and that process with you there before, Tim. I guess I was just happened to be thinking about something there now too. You know, the number was given out, I guess, on the video previously there before when we were first presented with it and whatnot. I suppose it's probably on the county website there too, but I've noticed that, you know, you've got a lot of these no wind farm traffic signs up around, and I think that probably helps a lot. And then also too, I've noticed that Blattner's got some signs up helping direct trucks for their deliveries over to the laydown yard. But I just was wondering if maybe it would be a good idea in certain areas, at least within the, you know, like say the beginning of Highway 62 or someplace along Highway 62 or different places within the heavy haul route, at least for sure. Maybe if somebody had some signs that they put up different places along that route so that had that trouble number. So if there were people that hadn't seen what the number was on the video, or had, you know, or like me the other day where I thought I had it in my phone, but I guess I didn't. And then that way they knew what the number was to call, which I don't know if that'd be something feasible or not, but
I don't know, 799-4540 is mine. I can get through there in a heartbeat.
you know, but I didn't know if that would just help, you know, speed along the process if people are noticing things, you know, along the way and whatnot. But
well, it's just like I talked to you. That's a great idea as far as that number we put out there, but in my opinion, it slows things down. I can do it faster if they get a hold of me.
right, yeah. Okay. Another thing somebody had mentioned to me one time too, they were curious, you know, like the county has compensation in place from, you know, for the road use agreement and whatnot like that. So that kind of covers any road damages and stuff within the county. Do you know, is there anything in place with the state as well, like any damages to the state highway, or is that something that's totally between Nextera or Blattner and the state, or is that something that's going to be coming out of compensation that the county gets, or
No.
Out of our control.
I suppose if there's damage to state highway, I mean, the state's gonna go
Right.
after whoever damaged
Sure.
it, they know it.
They'd have an agreement with them.
Okay. And then getting into the haul or the heavy haul route map, I know it's been changed a couple times from what I've heard of as far as what the route's going. Do you have any idea, or is there a updated, finalized haul route map now? Because I've noticed that the one on the website, the county's website, is still the same
Right.
one that.
No, we should be I asked them last week for an updated version, so hopefully this week we get one.
Okay.
I want it. I want it out to the townships. I want it out to whoever wants. We'll get it on the website and everybody can see it then. But yeah, we need an update version.
Okay. See, that should be about all of my notes there about the road stuff, I guess, that would.
Are you, hold on, are you done with Shane? No, I'm sitting here holding the phone.
I'm done with Shane, I think, at this point from my notes. I do have one other question, but it probably doesn't necessarily mess with Shane.
All right, I'm gonna let Shane go. Shane, thank you.
Okay, you are very welcome.
Thanks,
Have a
Shane.
fantastic day.
Okay, see you later. And let's hang on one second. Mary Kay just stepped out.
Okay.
What's Shane's number? I got it.
Hey, Greg, while I got you here, Shane's number is 319. This would be for Cook Flat and Strobel now. 785-319-9829.
Okay.
Okay? And that's, you know, that number can be called too. If people's got problems. It just gets you right to the source.
Right. Yep. Yep. I just thought that it'd be a little better to get it out directly, you know, because like there's a lot of times, you know, if the number's right there, you know, when you're going down the road.
Oh, I know, right. Mhm.
People might put it in their phone, you know, if they.
I let go of Shane. Okay, Greg, she's back.
Okay. I guess, one of the questions some people had asked too that I've been talking with is they were asking about, the comprehensive plan and where we were on that, which I know, you know, the whole COVID thing's got a lot of that stuff type shut down. But, I know there's a lot of concern with, progress that's being done, with possibly future projects that's going on already anyway. And I didn't know, I guess, if you guys had touched base with Brown County, like you said you were previously, of seeing how they are coming along with their thoughts of it or anything like that. And if you had any sort of progress in mind as far as timeline of when, and I know it's probably yet to be determined as far as, you know, just what you can get done from your meetings and whatnot. But I didn't know if you had a plan in place of as far as getting anything started on that, if you're still looking, and I know you've extended the moratorium and everything, but this is still something that probably should be getting looked at sooner rather than later, simply because even though you've got a moratorium in place, that's not stopping any developers from going around and getting leases set up in the meantime, which just gives them that much more ammunition to come at you if you are looking into getting comprehensive planning in place. Then that's something that.
Well, comprehensive planning will not stop anyone from going around talking to the area farmers and doing that.
I understand.
Regardless of COVID.
But you'll end up with the same thing of what you did down here, where you've got a bunch of leases in hand from the developer, that if they come to you and say, well, we've got all these leases of people that have signed up, but I can about guarantee you that there's a lot of people in this area that if they knew what was going to be carrying on at this point now, that there would be a lot of leases that would not be signed.
Yeah, we're gonna be working on that, and like you said, this doggone pandemic, if that's what you wanna call it, is kind of slowing this thing down.
Right.
I want to get one of those people, I don't know about one of them, I may want to get them all back in here and re-interview them again and make sure we're picking the right person. You know, I'm just not going to throw a dart and grab somebody and get this thing started. It's going to be done right, you know. So it is, no, we're not, it's not really per se our choice to put it on the back burner, but that's kind of where it's at because of what's going on.
Right.
I do not believe Brown County, we will be able to work with Brown County on the situation though. I mean, maybe we can hire the same people, but as far as working together, you know, and that, I think if they do anything, they want to be on their own.
Exactly, and I understand that, appreciate that, but I know like what Keith Marvin had said about how, you know, if it worked out for that, he was hired on as well as.
Right. No, we know, we're fully aware of that.
Yeah.
Right, and I guess, you know, in my mind too, and, you know, I appreciate you wanting to do as much, you know, due diligence and finding the right person to do it and everything. But I guess in my personal feeling is that with Keith Marvin, he's already got a lot of the legwork kind of already in place, simply from the fact that he's done Sabethas, he's done Senecas, he's done Wetmore's, he's done Corning. So you've already got a good portion of the communities around, he's already done the legwork for. So, you know, in essence, it looks like that he's already got the job half done. So I would assume, and of course, you know, this is just my assumption, but I would assume that would help play into the final cost of it all. So
it may.
I guess that's just something that you might keep in mind if you're contacting them, you know, if that actually does play through, and you know, if you were talking with Keith Martin again, that you might find out if that would be the case, you know, where he's already got the information from them, if that would play into the actual accountant's plan. But yeah, that was just kind of all that I really wanted to know, I guess, about that. If you've seen where Brown County was, since it sounded like they were kind of in the same boat of wanting to get something in place as well, of if that might be able to piggyback the same engineer or planner. So
okay.
But thank you very much for your time, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.
Yep, you too. Bye.
See, move to approve minutes with one correction concerning the current moratorium. I think I would put in there excluding Soldier Creek. I think that moratorium specifically mentions that too, but
Review extending the current moratorium in place in Nemaha County of events commission considering the development.
yeah.
Should I put a sentence here that
Yeah,
says
well,
this?
comma excluding Soldier Creek.
I'll just say this moratorium would exclude.
Right, however you want to put it in there, Mary Kay.
Yeah, right before Dennis makes the motion to approve the resolution, I'm just gonna say this moratorium would exclude the Soldier Creek Wind Farm currently being constructed in Nemaha County.
So move with the corrections noted, Mr. Chairman.
I will second.
Moved and seconded, we approved the minutes from last week with one correction. Any further discussion? None, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anything new concerning the neighborhood revitalization? We're still just a work in progress.
As far as I know, there's both Nancy and Brad are still working on updating the actual plans, you know what I mean, the wording any wording in the plan itself.
We start.
You haven't gotten an updated,
Oh,
heavy haul route yet, or anything?
no, I'm hoping this week.
Yeah.
They need to get one out.
Let's see, that bridge, I wonder, I was gonna ask Dennis about that bridge on, Dick Blissman's Road, just north of him, between him and where Frank Steino used to live.
Oh, okay.
There's a bridge there, it's been out, I'll bet 2 years, maybe. I didn't know what our plans was for that one, but.
Yeah, that list has started to grow.
Yeah, it is. That's what I said. I'm kind of in favor. We get maybe some of them places like that, just hire somebody to put them in and get them. Have Dennis do some picking, and we probably ought to have a meeting with him sometime.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Because,
Talk to him about that and see what his thoughts are.
because we've got a lot of things like that that's on the fire that probably ought to, even if we take 2 or 3 off our plate, I'd be more in favor of hiring somebody like that to do them than I would to put another crew.
Well, right, yeah.
Because, you don't have enough machinery to double your crew
That's right,
and
yeah.
And I know some of them, but still, our crew can only do like maybe 3-4 bridges a year.
Yeah. Depends on how long they go.
They go.
And then the weather, doggone it, last year was a mess, trying to get things done. You're right.
Well, they widened some of them corners. They made that to where you can they got some of them pretty nice.
Oh, the intersections.
Yeah, the paths to get in there and out of them places are just really.
Look, Mary Kay, we get the weekly updates for say. If I had you on there, you could put that on the website, couldn't you? Or this would be from Nextera.
You had my email address, yes. I think so.
I mean, I'm not sure why. Well, let's see, maybe this is Cook Blacksville, it is, Cook Blacksville.
That's who's sending you that.
Yes.
So they just have to add my email address along with yours.
And then we could post that. Okay.
And the other reason, like when Greg was talking about taking the crown off the road, they have to take that crown off the road to get it wide enough. Because they've widened them roads out, really in most places, just taking the ditches out as a temporary deal. And then when they're all done, they'll just make ditches again and probably make just a pretty decent road out of the situation. But there's going to be a 8 or 10 month period that's going to be a little ornery.
Well,
But if you go over and drive around Marysville, around Marshall County where they did them, they shaped them back up pretty good. So the deal there by golf, is they're gonna find out, of course, we don't know where the house is gonna go, huh? Did you answer him? Or was you going to? The only thing I would say,
I put Mark on
we need to probably tell him that, the only other deal for the county would be revitalization. if he's gonna do something, he needs to, you know, be talking to the Betty down at your appraiser's office. If he wants to participate in the revitalization program. That would be my only input on that whole deal, other than, so did you forward that to his? Did you forward his email to Mark?
No, but I had him call it.
Okay.
He talked to him this morning.
But if you don't care, I think I'll have him, that he does need to, check with Betty at the appraiser's office on the revitalization, if he wants to participate in that program before he does anything. Since he contacted us and asked us if there's anything, the only thing he said he's got is that. One thing you might need to check on is our revitalization program for property taxes that we have in Nemaha County. Check with Betty in the appraiser's office. Must have,
I thought he went downstairs maybe when
you must have that
he had a
paperwork.
flat book, and I thought he went that way. But not sure. I can check for you if you like. I hear his voice.
You waiting on me?
Well, and Betty, just talking to her about the courthouse, and she had a good point, but they see the walkers and stuff. They come in this east door, down there, use the bathroom.
Yeah.
They see that. I don't know about quite often, but it happens. There's some they see. So I never thought about that.
I made it a public,
Yeah.
to send it to him.
I mean, how do you control all that?
Since he reached out to us, I thought we better make sure he
Yeah,
knows about that
that'd be good. That's
revitalization
great.
program.
Yeah, that's great.
You know,
Perfect.
is that okay?
Yes.
All right,
Brad, can you hear me okay from where I'm sitting here?
you bet.
Okay. Did you hear any more about the 24/7 point of contact for the wind farm from your email that you sent out?
I did not.
Okay. I know that was talked about a little bit this morning here, and I just have some residents pointing out to me too that the complaint resolution agreement states that a 24/7 single point of contact would be established for fielding and addressing wind project claims or issues, including road issues. And at this point, we don't know what that point of contact is. So Brad had sent an email to Mark and to Spencer, I believe, about,
Yes.
About what that is. And so Tim, that's something you may want to bring up Wednesday,
Okay.
to see if, I just
That
know
would
I have
be good. In
people
fact, while we're
asking.
at it, I just pulled up the email that I sent Thursday morning. I'm going to resend that to them
Okay,
so that they get another shot at it.
Okay.
Wow.
What do you think, Ted? We got all of our business?
I only have one thing
Okay,
remaining, and
go ahead.
that's, we talked about this a little bit, so my question is do you want me to put something on the agenda, on a regular basis about talking about comprehensive planning at a certain time, or not?
Well, I think we can here, I don't know about next week, but come June, we need to get everything will start opening back up again to where we can get people in here if we need to. So I would assume
Starting the
whatever
first
the
of
following Monday is.
The 1st of June.
When is it? Okay, first day of June, exactly right.
So at that point, we're hoping that the courthouse is open
Yes.
to anyone that wants to
No,
come
it's
to the
not.
meeting.
We can still do maybe some phone calls of some sort to kind of get the ball rolling again. Anyway, what do you think?
I think until we pick somebody to head this up, at that point in time, that person,
Then they take the lead and start
And
doing
they-
their thing.
now, we might, I envision, talking to him or her at 11 o'clock every Monday. What's going on? What are you doing? Like we do, you know? and-
I see.
And
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
the time we talk to them. If somebody wants to come in and to be in on that, they sure can.
Uh-huh.
That's what you're saying.
That would be,
Well, but by then we'll have a committee. Probably. We'll have appointed a committee and my question is,
So work
do we
with
need to
them.
have a committee to pick which group it is, or should we just leave that on our shoulder? You know, we could appoint 5 or 6 people and say, you know,
well, I guess I'd like to have whomever we pick to head this up, their input on that.
I would too.
Yeah.
I would too.
Then we can form a committee. I think we
Right.
can do it. We ought to be able to get who we need in here per se, then get a committee on board to work with them.
But any kind of weekly thing to me would be with him or her leading it.
Sure,
Yeah. Okay.
they're in charge. Once we
Right.
pick who we're
Well,
gonna,
the thing is, Gary, though, is they was, even if we're deciding who to pick or talk about it, you know, they would say like 11 o'clock every Monday in June, we're gonna talk about comprehensive plan. If it's for 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. And that way the people are interested, they can
I see.
tune in and say, well, have you made any progress? And that would be my suggestion, to just put it down for like 11 o'clock
Starting
every,
June 1st.
I would hope maybe June
or
1.
11:15, 11:30, somewhere in there.
Yeah, but I'm thinking maybe on June 1, we can maybe re-contact those.
Sure.
Maybe shoot an email out to the 3 people we reached out to before and see if we can.
Just have
Nothing
another,
else, have a phone conversation.
have another conversation with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe over the phone is all we need to do.
Well, we met face to face with
Right.
2 of them.
Personally, I don't know if,
Right? Or,
personally, I don't know if we need, you know, I'm down to 2.
okay, well, and that's all good too, but,
I
okay.
mean, but I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I'm, you know, I'm, but when you're gonna spend $80,000 to $100,000 of the county's money, you know, I'm thinking there's probably a lot of people in the county that are satisfied with it the way it is when it comes to that kind of money.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting up in there to $500,000. You know, that's,
Mm-hmm.
that's adding expense to everybody's tax bill. 'Cause this isn't coming cheap. And this is just a start.
That's only the beginning. That is right.
Okay.
But that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
That's all I have.
all right. Well, let's go ahead and show down at 105 in there, okay?
So are we actually adjourning
Well,
or just recessing? I
Are we
believe
gonna come
last
back
time-
here? I mean, we can.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we're gonna have to go van.
we could go ahead
I
and
believe it's available if you wanted to take it.
we could come back and get it out of the way today. We may call Brad when we get back again. And,
Tell them what our findings are.
on Tuesday. Also,
Good.
Greg Visser called and wants you to be on the line too when I call him back,
Okay.
okay? So I'm gonna call him by my phone now.
And by the way, before you do so, or while you're doing so, Mary Kay, did you get the email I received from Mark where he did give us the hotline number?
No, I haven't seen that yet, but I'll,
Okay.
if I don't
What is
have
it?
that, I'll reach out to you to get that.
It is, let me get there. them.
I'll give them my number, by the way. A little while.
The hotline number is 785-285-2041.
Okay. 2041.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, I'm gonna call him now.
2041.
Hello, this is Greg.
Greg, Tim Burdiek at the commission desk.
Yes, Tim.
Got Brad on the other line here, and I'll hold my phone up so he can hear what you have to say.
Okay, all right.
Here we go.
Brad, I don't know if you happened to notice or listen earlier this morning when I was asking about, well, I guess I should just go ahead and start in. My concern is with the process of the trouble line for calling in about different things, road conditions and whatnot, that we have going to Nextera. I just made to Tim about how my concerns with how those were followed up, or if there was any kind of log or anything like that of complaints. And I've been in contact with someone that's pretty knowledgeable about, just in general, I guess kind of, the process of having those types of things, the process of going from when a complaint is received to who takes the complaint to when the complaint is done, and then, following up to make sure that it was finished properly or taken care of properly. And I guess my concern is that there somehow might possibly be some liability of the county on such a thing. Like, does that sound or make sense of the concern of that, or is that not a county problem since it's not a county project? Or
Well, I don't know how the county would be liable.
okay.
Unless somehow what the county did was the proximate result of whatever the damage or injury that resulted would be.
Right. Okay. I guess that was just something that I'd heard some other people around here talking about, having concerns with it of what the accountability, I guess, actually is the word I'm looking for.
Well, now, Greg, I've had a couple of people that's had complaints about roads and things, and we've called in and got them on it, and
Right. And
within
as long as everything's getting taken care of.
within 24 hours, the people that called me and complained called me back and said it's all taken care of. It's great. Thank you.
Okay. All right, good deal. I'm just thinking, if somewhere something slips between the cracks, I guess.
Well, that can always happen.
So, but I'm mostly just, I guess, I'm not trying to.
If you're talking to somebody on the hotline, if you're talking to a voicemail, I would probably be a little more hesitant than if I was talking to a real person.
Right. I guess my thinking though is that with a voicemail, at least they've got some sort of a record there
Sure.
of who said what and whatnot. So,
Okay.
but I just wanted to make sure that the county or townships or anything like that wasn't in any way liable of something like that. But I didn't know what the scope was, I guess, as far as the involvement where, the county entered into a road use agreement, and I hadn't seen anything as far as, I guess, necessarily stating in any of the road use agreement stuff of, pertaining to the complaint resolution within the project during construction. It was more geared towards after the project is up, and even then, it gives them a year before they have to respond back or give the results back to the town or the county then, the way that they're
as we request. I think if we request a report,
Okay, gotcha.
we can do that anytime, if I remember correctly.
Okay, yeah, I guess I was just noticing the year portion of that.
The biggest thing, Greg, is that people let us know when there is a problem.
Right.
Whether they call Tim or I or the hotline. If they call the hotline and get hold of the person, I think, you know, and it don't carry to call Tim, Gary, or I, you know.
Did you
so
get the
we're in
hotline number, Greg?
Circuit 2.
What was that, Tim?
Did you get the hotline number?
Yeah, that one from, DJ, was it, I think?
For Brad, 285-2041.
Okay.
785-285-2041.
Okay, yep. So, that was the only question I guess I had pertaining to Brad at the moment. I do have another question though for the, commissioners about the, comprehensive plan, or comment, I guess I'd like to say.
Okay.
Yes, okay, I was just commissioning data center, I was just checking out the hotline. Good work.
So,
Okay,
I don't
thank
know
you.
if Brad go or not, but that was all that I had.
No, I don't, but I just was checking to make sure it worked.
Good.
Uh,
Okay, Brad, you done, we're done, with Brad, aren't we? Okay, thanks, Brad.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, Greg.
Back on that, comprehensive plan, Dennis's comment earlier about, you know, being, hesitant of spending $80,000 or $100,000 on a comprehensive plan, you know, I can definitely feel for that and understand that, but, I guess one of the comments I heard from some locals around here was, concerning the employment of James Neal. You know, if we're having to, as a county, taxpayers having to put the remainder of the bill, if they were only paying up to $75,000, if that bill's gone over there since then, you know, that's not really.
We're not paying for any of that, they're paying it all.
Okay, all right, well, that takes care of that, but I guess, you know, that was just kind of one of the points that
Right.
somebody had mentioned one time in passing about, you know, the comprehensive plan is something that would benefit the entire county.
Of course.
Whereas
It's not like we're not going to do it, but it is something to look at. Dollars do matter today, and it's gonna get a lot tighter in the next 18 months. We gotta pay attention.
I agree, and I understand, but I guess at the same time too, this is something that, you know, is going to be affecting the rest of the county.
Of course.
And where you do have the, you know, part of the funds from coming in from the wind farm, for instance, could go towards something like this, you know, but I'm just saying that, you know, I don't think that it's necessarily fair to think that looking into a comprehensive plan is any worse than, you know, hiring an outside attorney or buying a new truck or anything else like that. But I definitely understand your standpoint of needing to keep track of where the money is going as well too, and not just spend it foolishly. So
It's all about paying attention to where we're spending our taxpayers' money
right,
and what our budget allows.
yeah. But I guess
Greg, it ain't the idea that we can't do it and won't do it, you know, it's just the idea that, you know, you got your priorities and where we gotta be and
exactly, yeah.
we'll take steps to get into that.
Okay, thank you. That should be all that I have then. So appreciate
Okay.
it.
All right, thank you.
Greg.
See you, Greg.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Um,
What else, sir, Chairman?
That it, Margay?
I believe so.
Okay,
We'll,
we're getting dangerously close to 4 o'clock.
we'll take, the rest of that under review next Monday, Tuesday.
Okay,
And I did call this point of contact for the hotline,
Yes,
didn't get an answer.
the human?
Yep.
Good.
You
The
did.
guy
Great.
says, you know, and he says, what's your problem? I said, I'm just a commissioner wanting to make sure that
It worked.
it works. And he says, well, good. He said, no problems, we're going.
Right.
So I did talk to a human being.
Great.
So
I
now-
was gonna do
Yes,
that on the
please.
way home. I'm glad you.
Okay.
Other now, glad that was what he answered.
meeting's been adjourned.
Okay, dokie.